Hello and welcome to Graphic Design. My name is Mr. Rust and I'm going to share a little presentation with you. So again, as I said, welcome to Graphic Design. Give you a little background on myself so you know who your kids are with this year. I graduated from Art Center College of Design in Pasadena. This is some of my work. I graduated with a degree with high honors in illustration. After graduating, I began a brief career as a freelance illustrator, but soon grew tired of sitting in my own place all day long and missing that interaction with others. So I left that and I went into the video game industry where I worked as a vice president and art director of a computer game company for 11 years. This is some of the work from some of our games. I directed and created art and advertising material for many top-selling computer games. We also worked on Sega and Nintendo, Super Nintendo. But I'm still active in the art. So even while I'm teaching, I'm still working on paintings. I sell my work from stores between California and New York. I do shows each year in California and North Carolina, as well as I have a website where I sell my work. And so I'm still active and involved in the arts. Arts are a passion, and that's why I enjoy teaching them. So I like to talk about why art. A lot of people tend to be dismissive of the arts, and they think of the arts as just the fine arts. But art's all around us. When you stop and think about it, anything that has not been found in nature typically has had an artist's hand. And so you think about the chair you're sitting in, a product designer. If you think about the car that you drive in, an automotive designer. The products you buy in a store, you've got product and graphic designers that mix, movie posters, you got your illustrators and your graphic designers. So it's very prevalent. It's very important. And art fosters imagination and creativity. It encourages problem solving. For art, you really have to think about how do you solve it in a unique way. It's not, a formula like math. Art facilitates communication and it increases multicultural understanding. You can speak two different languages and look at art and be able to communicate through visuals. Art strengthens self-esteem. For some, art is where they're going to find, a student's going to find their passion, where they're going to really see that they succeed. Art develops fine motor skills. It correlates to other disciplines such as math and science and language, when you think about color theory or perspective. Art develops provides numerous career opportunities as well. You think about the visual arts, it's one of the fastest growing industries in the world. These are some statistics from about 5 years ago. The creative sector was predicted to be worth about 6.1 trillion internationally in less than 15 years. And there are 2.8 million Americans that are working in the visual arts industry. And you think about our unique location here in LA and how many opportunities there are. The visual arts offers careers in illustration, graphic design, film, architecture, animation, photography, fine arts, fashion, interior design, transportation design, advertising, product design, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Typical class session is I take roll. I have my students just type in here when they enter into the class and I call their name. I'll review the assignments as to what the due dates were. When, if I see that some assignments are missing, I'll go over those due dates just to remind students of that upcoming and past assignments. I'll clarify if I've already taught a lesson, just kind of remind them about the key things we're focusing in on for that lesson. If it's a new lesson, I'll model that assignment for them. Typically, I do little presentations where I am talking about, the history or the subject matter that we're going to be looking at for that assignment. Guided practice, that's where I'll be kind of walking the students and having them do things with me or kind of showing them. I do a lot of demonstrations as well. And then independent practice is what the class is primarily made up of. And that is where the students have received the information. Now they're then independently working on the assignments. And then cleanup, that's on those kids over there to make sure that they're keeping your place nice and neat. But when we return to school, we all make sure that we participate in cleaning up. And with graphic design, there's usually not a lot that has to be done. So subject matter that's covered: line, shape, pattern, design, composition, perspective, color theory, illustration, and so much more. These are some examples of some current and upcoming line exercises that we'll be working on. We are just finishing up our Take a Line for a Walk assignment, which is the one on the left. Upcoming assignments, when we look at shape. So here are some shape exercises and projects. Form. And so on the left again is a form exercise for our journal books. And then we'll also kind of look at 1-point perspective. Space. So positive and negative space. Color theory, mandalas. These are some assignments as we continue on that are assignments typically that we would do in the classroom together. Hopeful that we'll be there, and we will use Illustrator and Photoshop for those. Personal logo typography, where students are designing their own unique logos. These are all, by the way, student work that you're seeing. These were some typographical West Ranch banners. So you can see a fair variety of designs. And these, again, are all student work. Social issue posters. These were some posters that we came up with. These were done in Photoshop. And movie poster design. Again, students were redesigning some of their favorite movie posters, looking for images online. And we take those images and we kind of craft and design our own posters. So what do students need to do to succeed in this class? Well, number one, come to class on time and be prepared and ready with your supplies and materials that we're going to need. While in class, stay focused on that current task. Keep the phones away, even the watch phones. Don't be afraid to try. That's a big thing. Especially, that's one of the reasons I have you guys do thumbnail designs, is I want you to kind of go through that process of working through things and thinking. Usually our first ideas aren't always the best ones. And as we get those ideas on paper out of our head, it frees us up to think of additional ideas. And usually that's where we get more and more creative. If you don't understand something, ask for help. That's what I'm here for. Especially during Zoom, when I can immediately answer those questions for you. Please take advantage of those times to get that help. Turn completed assignments in on time. And that's a doozy. Not turning work on time is one of the best reasons that students' grades aren't as well as they should be. So you're not getting full credit when they're not in on time. So make sure to get that work on time. Parents, what can you do to help? Help your child develop good time management strategies. Another real big one is have your kids work in a good location, at a table, at a desk, not laying on their beds or sitting and drawing on a binder. It really doesn't develop the hand, wrist, motion, and give you that quality that you would like to get by sitting up and having the good posture. Ask the specific questions. Ask, how are you doing on your projects? Encourage them to be creative. And what will I do? Well, everything is uploaded on Google Classroom. I've tried to think of everything that I can and put it up there. As well, I have an email address. So if students don't get their questions answered during Zoom, you can also email me and I can respond to you as quick as possible. Well, thank you very much for coming and checking out this video and for meeting me. And I'm looking forward to an exciting year. Have a great day.